La la la. I wanted to open up today with more noise because many folks have asked for more sound, and so we're trying to get that amped up a little bit and look at mic options as well. Greg for Tesla Fan Insight, covering three topics today. The first one is, when will the Model S and X get the newest battery? The second question is, I want to call it new car fear. Many new vehicles coming out, just about to wipe Tesla out every other day. The final thing that I wanted to dabble in the fact that I just dodged a crazy situation with hydroplaning, and I kind of want to review that with you guys because I think we all can learn a few things from it. This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. Thanks once again for joining us. If this is your first time on our channel, please take time to like and subscribe. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. Also would like to request that you take time out to watch maybe 6 seconds of our ads. It definitely helps support the channel. Next, wanted to thank you, Bob, Mr. Malele, and greetings, brethren from Sweden. We're all coming to visit you there because you guys have a lot of Teslas and there's a lot of great things to see about electric going on in your country. So one of my viewers, so just a reminder, I just posted a new video, or if you go to Tesla Fan Insight on YouTube, I wanted to note to you that I just posted photos yesterday of the Model 3 now being, people are getting test drives in it at our local service facility. So if you're in a greater DC area, you might want to schedule that test drive if you haven't already gotten your vehicle, you'd like to check it out. It's nice to see that car now in rotation on a test basis. I wanted to, wow, 90 days, well done. So I wanted to jump first into the question of when will the battery for the Model 3 show up in the Model X and S? And excellent question that was posed. And the answer to that is, first, Tesla's just stabilized at 5,000 in terms of the Model 3. The goal is to get up to 10,000 by the end of this year. One of the issues is battery supplies to meet that level of production. And then there's also the fact that they have issues with production in getting there. So number one, Tesla needs to get somewhere north of 5,000, heading for 10,000 in production of the Model 3, and get through that order book of initially 200,000 people that are ordering the more expensive vehicle, but eventually all of the purchasers of Model 3s have to be cleared out. Next is the issue that that battery or a similar battery is being used for trucks. And the next priority is trucks. So you now have a year of Model 3, a year of truck and Model 3 in production, with the Model Y sneaking in on the back end of that. And so what I'm forecasting is that when it comes to the Model S and X, we're at least 2 years out. But we could be as long as 3 or 4 years because, as we all know, the Model Y is next. And so now you have a long list of things that are ahead of when Model S and X gets changed out. The other factor is that, absolutely. Thank you for the question about referral numbers. There is one that's attached on this video, and I would appreciate your support there. I'm kind of sharing that with a good buddy of mine who's one of our advisors, and his name is Damien, and that is on our program. Hey, thanks for mentioning that, and I apologize for breaking in. So long-winded statement to say, yes, there is a need to switch over from the battery, in the Model 3. There's a good reason to do it, which is Tesla gets better margins, and they're no longer sort of buying a battery from Panasonic in Japan that's more expensive. But there are so many priorities ahead of it, and there's so much time that it's almost not even worth considering right now because of other priorities that Tesla may have. The second thing I wanted to cover today is perhaps once a week, it's announced that there's this new vehicle that's going to be coming out, and it's got huge range, and it's a great car, and it's going to wipe out Tesla. And the answer to that is that that's a big maybe. Let's see the vehicle come out and be available at scale before we assume that all the demise of Tesla because of the new competitor will actually occur. The latest round of that is there's a Volvo that's been listed. And as you know, the Volvos are now owned by a Chinese manufacturer. And interestingly enough, the next part of our conversation actually jumps into what's going on with the Chinese manufacturers. As we all know, China, up until Tesla got its Model 3 act going just now, was selling more vehicles, I believe 10,000 a month, that are electric than any other place in the world. They have BYD doing buses, trucks, all these different things. So China has made a huge commitment to electric, and it's showing up in terms of the number of manufacturers, the number of vehicles being manufactured, et cetera. I just want to remind you that as of today, which is the 24th of July, 2018, there's a huge scandal going on, which is that China requires vaccines for children to be domestically produced. The vaccine being used, many of the vaccines being used for the children of China in large parts of the country have been found to be either fake or counterfeit or not work. So this has created another round of scandals, and we seem to get a new quality scandal or issue of this nature every year from China. And so I wanted to remind all of you of this because what just happened is that as I did my story about BYD and Tesla, it was announced recently that in the case of BYD's trucks that are being produced in Los Angeles, or the truck battery that's going into buses in Albuquerque, New Mexico, they've totally found it to be defective, and they're thinking about exiting the contract because of quality issues. The batteries won't charge. So China has gotten into and has aggressively been pushing to become a leading supplier when it comes to electric batteries, et cetera. But the reality is that China is notorious for rapid entry in new fields and also notorious for very poor quality. So one of the issues that one might want to consider as we keep reading the latest Tesla killer coming out is, well, what's going to happen in terms of the quality of those vehicles? Sort of another detail on the newest Tesla killer is that there's formerly the Mission E from Porsche was supposed to be a Tesla killer, but as you'll note, that vehicle is a $100,000 car offering they're gonna, I apologize here, let me just bounce this back, because I don't want to get into a copyright situation here. Let's avoid music and other copyright issues popping up on Tesla, thank you, or on YouTube. So what this all brings up is the fact that, yes, they're going to be competitors, yes, they'll arrive. I actually think that based on watching Daimler-Benz, who I think of as the best organization out there, there is a delay in people finding a way to, one, come up with a battery that competes somewhat with Tesla or what customers will be willing to pay for, and then B, being able to produce them at scale. Everybody's reverse engineers Tesla's battery by now on the Model 3, and nobody's been able to get scale production lined up on that battery. And everyone's saying 2021-ish is when those new batteries will come out. We'll see if they actually deliver. I'm skeptical. I'm questioning whether or not it's going to occur. The final note I want to make in terms of news flying around with Tesla, everybody's got their fingers crossed. As you know, Tesla has asked for suppliers to give refunds to help the company do well, and things are not going well in that arena. Tesla's goal right now is to get to profitability, and we're rooting for them to get there. The final thing I wanted to jump into today is that I almost had a massive accident when it came to hydroplaning. We've had some severe rains hitting, and I had a situation pop up where there's a vehicle next to me. I was doing 50 miles an hour on a heavy rain day. The freeway had turned to basically glass. It looked like an ice skating rink, and everyone was slowing down. And this one driver decided he was going to go 70 miles an hour. About 500 yards after he started doing 70, his car proceeded to hydroplane, and then he hit the guardrail doing 70 miles an hour and pretty much totaled his vehicle. After the car hit, he started spinning towards me, and I was able to sort of get out of the way. I wanted to remind you that there's no traction on, and that's why you start to get hydroplaning. So for those of you who notice that there's a lot of people going slow and wide open lanes to go really fast, that might actually be a sign that you might want to slow down, because it can be really dangerous out there and you potentially lose your life in the process. This is, unfortunately, we're having a little bit of battery challenges here. My show, therefore, needs to end a little bit earlier than expected, unfortunately. I want to thank all of you for taking time out to watch. As usual, please like and subscribe. Any support on Patreon is helpful. Thanks for the visit, and hello from all of you around the world. Look forward to any and all comments you might have on this. I think that the stockpiling of vehicles means that we're going to start seeing European and other countries covered with Model 3 soon. So let's keep our fingers crossed about this. This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. Tschüss, German. Au revoir, French. Lehitraot, Hebrew. Choda Hafez, Farsi. Farvel in Dutch. And in Jamaica, we say Nof respect wa good man. And greetings to my friends in Europe and around the world. And thanks for taking time out to visit with us once again. Our next show will jump into some observations that are going on with our trucks.